to our sister station Spice FM for an ongoing conversation with Transnzoia Governor, that is George Natembeya, on matters Western Kenya politics and its development. Listen in.
You live there, you marry there, you know, the only thing you know about this country is just Halwenge. And you think everybody in this country lives like that. It's basically orchestrated. We want to open the eyes of our people. Because I know you can be talking these things, but if you don't have the people, then you're doing it for who? They must buy into this idea first. That's why I say reject your life as it is. If you think it's comfortable, you cannot change these people. But let them see that there's an alternative life, that you can lead a better, dignified life, as even a local person in the village there. The moment you reject your status, then you can start moving towards even a revolution. Yeah.
So as you talk about that movement and what you're telling people to reject, your messaging, it's personified. It's coming down into an individual. The individual being the party leader of a political party that's been dominant in your region, Fort Kenya, and this is Mombasa Wetangula. Why are you singling those two out?
Why people have always been afraid. You talk about the problems. You know the people causing these problems, but you talk as if the problems are causing themselves. So for us, we're putting a face to the problems that we have. And it's not just me attributing that. They themselves have said they are third in command in this government. So third in command of what significance to the community? You are saying is a very important position in government. What does it come in terms of the community? Other than elevating you and giving you all these privileges of society as a person. There's this tendency that if you are comfortable up there, the commission will feel comfortable. The politics of tokenism, because when the Luhya to believe they're in government, you put somebody there who will make a lot of noise about the position they hold in society. But that position does not translate into anything tangible for the community. Of course, currently I'm blaming these guys because they're the ones who are there, but they're doing exactly what their predecessors used to do. Just talk, come to the villages and attend funerals with the national flags and basically mesmerize people. And they're telling people that, now as a woman in Mbaya, but I'm the only one that you have. You know, you are creating this kind of desperation.
I'm your only option.
I'm the only one. That if I'm not there, then you guys are not there. But is it true? I've been talking about the Luhya community. I don't want to be misconstrued, like to mean that I'm preaching tribalism and nepotism. That is the kind of reality that we have today. The Luhyas are the second largest community in this republic. Has suffered serious discrimination, even with just basic things. I normally give the example of the forces. That 60 years down the line, we have not even had a single lawyer commanding even the Navy or the Air Force, or even being the CDF. All other communities, the Kikuyu have had 2 or 3 times. The Kambas have had, the Somalis have had, the Luo currently they have, Coastarians have had even twice, Mwadede, the Kibwana. But the second largest community in this country, nothing. Not even just a lieutenant general. Nothing. The highest we've had is just a major general, I think, at the Air Force, and is going to be given other duties. Nothing. And Tonje came up with very, very clear rules on succession management. But it seems again somebody's manipulating this to ensure that only certain individuals reach the apex. Look at even the police service. We have not had even a single lawyer as Inspector General Police or as a Commissioner of Police and then the previous regime. Nothing. So what happens? When you reach a certain level, you work so hard and become a deputy inspector general or assistant inspector general of police. But from there, you need now this called number 3 or number 2 in government. That political thing is not stated by that political push. What the Gachagua talks about shareholding. You have to come and say, now I'm demanding for this. That's when your number 3 means something. I rose to become a regional commissioner myself, just by working hard. Nobody held my hand. But the moment you become a regional commissioner, you can only become a PS or become a CS. How do you become one? You need that political push. You see there. Again, when I declared I wanted to be governor, it's when I discovered these guys are completely against the community, because I was fought left, right, and center. Those guys come to the office of the cabinet secretary.
Why would they be against the community?
And they were hitting me, just because I said I want to be governor. Actually, I left earlier than everybody else, because even I was removed from regional commissioner, I brought at the headquarters here, and they were so happy. But why didn't they insist? Like everybody said, that if you remove Natembeya, put another Natembeya there from the community, they put somebody else, because they don't care. And we are saying Everybody now negotiates for stuff as a community. You are united first, then you go and negotiate with others. It's easier for other communities to deal with one entity, united entity, instead of dealing with 18. But for Luhyas, we are 18 sub-nations there, and everybody wants to be, to be separate. They're all divided. What we are saying now, can we come together as a community, then talk with other Kenyans? That's why Raila is taken seriously. That's why Ruto is taken seriously. That's why Rigathi is taken seriously. That's why Kalonzo is taken seriously. Luhya is taken seriously.
So please make me understand, because you're saying that these individuals have been doing this for their own political expediency, but you've seen others rising with their political expediency by actually trying to elevate and position their people. You can hear people talking about, because of the leadership of Kalonzo Musyoka, you've seen certain people who are elevated and occupying certain offices. They even come out to say, because of Kalonzo's support, I got this position. You've seen the same with Raila. You've seen the same with Kikuyu leaders. You've seen the same with some coastal leaders. You see this happening. So why would it be that the leaders of the Luhya nation would not do it? I mean, they can see it works for other people. Why would they not want it to work for them?
Because as a Luhya community, we've not been able to take those leaders to those positions. Which Luhya made Mudavadi the Prime Cabinet Secretary? What did the Luhya do to make him a Prime Cabinet Secretary?
Would it have made a difference if you could see that there was a significant unification or rallying together that then brought him that position?
Big difference. It will be taken more seriously.
By
even the president himself.
Okay.
You'll say, I want roads in the Viga, and if you're not given.
You
say I'm walking away, and you'll walk away with 400 MPs. But today, he's there alone. Today, the governor for Mudavadi is an ODM governor, Otijilo. The senator is Ososi, is ODM. Azimio got more votes than Kenya Kwanza in the Viga. The position that Mudavadi holds in government is what we call tokenism. You can be fired today and no lawyer will cry. And nothing will happen. Wetangula came with this funny explanation that he delivered Bungoma to the president, that Bungoma has always voted for Raila, but this time around about 200,000 people voted for the president. So he used those 200,000 votes to bargain for himself. Yeah, but he knows just encouraged the Luhya community there. The other people go together. Today, if Kalonzo coughs, the entire Kamba nation will get a cold. Isn't it? The same with the Raila. What about Luhya? In fact, I can confidently state today that if the president wants to talk to the Luhya nation, he'll go through Raila, because Raila has got 20 members of parliament in Western. NC has 5, Ford Kenya has 5, DAP has 5, out of over 40. So the dominant political figure there is ODM. We want to change all this, that as a community we are capable of going to that table ourselves. We go there as a community, not as individuals using the name of the community to go there, and yet they have got nothing to show.
Many have tried
for those positions.
Many have tried.
Yes,
many have tried. We have had the conversation about Luhya unity has been there for decades, right? They haven't succeeded. Why do you think they have not succeeded?
And that's why I'm not even talking about Luhya unity myself, not the unity of the leadership, because leadership get united for their own selfish interests. We want to do what's called transformational leadership, not just getting positions for the sake of those positions. What are we doing with those positions to transform the lives of our people? Eric, for instance, there is a sub-county in Transvaal called Saboti. Saboti is to be represented in parliament by Michael Omalo Kijana. Wakati wa siasa mbaya, maisha mbaya. Up to now, Saboti doesn't have even a single kilometer of tarmac. As we speak now. Zero. No tarmac there. And the leaders have somehow, when you tell people that the government hates us and there's nowhere we can go as a leadership, what are you trying to say? And these people also pay taxes. We are saying it's no longer about Natembeya or about Mudavadi or about Wetangula. First of all, let the person also understand that the life they're leading, they deserve better. How do they get this life? Politics not just about controversy, about argument. People think that when you talk too much, they say, "What yes,
yeah."
The people have tended to look at politics very negatively. But politics is about allocation of resources and sharing of resources. That's what politics is all about. How have we used our political power and strength as a people to ensure that we empower local communities? That's all I'm saying. That let somebody look at this community in terms of sheer numbers, because it puts about the numbers.
Yeah.
Unless these numbers mean something that they can look back and say, no, but there's 7 million people here. What's happening with them? There was a time when Luhya said about 5 cabinet secretaries. At that time, the cabinet was bloated. It's not like now in the year 22, but we had about 7 cabinet ministers. Today we have how many? We just have one. The entire Western region, 7 million people, plus the prime cabinet secretary. Those are true. Is that proper representation in cabinet? Yeah, because people say you did not vote for this formation, and therefore we don't have shares. That's the quiet, kind of the quiet arrangement. But we are saying it's not only people who voted for Kenya Kwanza pay taxes. We all pay taxes equally, and therefore we deserve to be given some of these positions. And I'm saying that because you look at our people, even on because of the problem that they have gone through. Even just they lack confidence completely. They can't question anything. When you go there and you're calling yourself even the purple names, people just call you that. You go there and say, me Papa Oroma, people call you Papa Oroma. They know it's blasphemous. But because you have said it, they'll call you that. We want to change. We want to change all these things. And people, when I talk like people get so scared. Is he doing this? Is saying this about this guy? Is he going to survive? This guy has finished so-and-so, has finished Muskari Kompo, he has finished Buhisa Kitui, he's finished Omunyinyi, he's finished SL, he's finished so-and-so. Will Natembeya survive this? But we are telling you, don't be the person who finishes people. Be the person who builds people. Be positive about some of these things. And you cannot have a monopoly of knowledge. Because you should be able to consult. And when we raise some of these issues, can you step back and say, is this guy making sense or not? Or do we just now get a sledgehammer and say, let me finish this guy? So after finishing him, then, are you going to change the narrative? Are you going to stop this?
Sure. So from the people's point of view, it's clear. I mean, we're going back to that. And one of the questions we ask ourselves is George Natembeya saying, you know what? If we make sure that the livelihoods of people, and it just so happens that people in the western part of the country right now is the focus, because that's where you're governor.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And that's where the other leaders who also happen to be Luhyas are. But we're saying that, look, this expediency that you're looking for, because this is what you have said, that people have been members of parliament, people have been governors, people have been cabinet secretaries, but we do not see development in this area. We do not see that there's been unification of the people. We do not see that anybody worth their salt has been able to rise to a position whereby people can take them seriously. If you take care of the people, if you develop the area, if you make sure that the thing that you're supposed to do in that position, you actually do, nobody will have to question whether you are fit for purpose. Is that what we are saying? So is your focus as George Natembeya raising the profile of the people, or is your focus to be the one that people will look towards in the future?
If people focus too much on myself, then they completely miss the point. Then it becomes selfish. You create unnecessary enemies because the people are obsessed with the leaders, and then the message is lost. That's why I'm saying it's about the people. Let us walk with the people. The moment the people realize that there is strength in numbers, and they have the numbers, and they need to harness these numbers in a proper way, and they know that if they harness these numbers, then benefits are going to accrue to them. For me, my job will be done. But for now, people just participate in politics as a matter of routine. You will find so many people attending rallies, thousands. On the day of voting, they don't vote. What is the reason? And the idea of saying that campaigns are a time to harvest, because we don't see these leaders. This is the only time we get them. So you go and attend rallies, you are given 100 shillings, 50 shillings, and you say, nimepata yangu. Then you go and vote for somebody, say, huyu has got very good ideas. Lakini hajanipatia yako kitu. That's how we speak. Hajanipatia yako kitu. Lakini alizui nimekulako yake 50. 50 shillings only. We want to change. We want to change that. And for me, I operate from home, from the grassroots. I'm daily with the people.
Do you feel like you're a lone wolf in this? You're on your own?
I'm not on my own. There are so many people. There are very many leaders who are just silent, and they are watching to see how this unfolds. And I'm sure if it goes the direction I think it's going to go, there are very many of them who are going to join the fold. The level of frustration out there, even among the leadership, is very high. But they can't just speak. There's this kind of fear. People, when other people talk freely, you go to Western, there's this kind of fear. When you say some of these things, You're going to be called and be told, kijana yetu ni mzuri, huyu mtu atamaliza wewe. You know, the people believe that you cannot challenge these leaders. But we are saying, let us sacrifice for the sake of the community. If somebody gets this message, they understand that we need to change, and they change, my mission will be done. So this is not about me, and I don't want it to be about me. I'm going to support anybody else who will come and articulate this one better than myself, and have more influence than myself. In leadership, Western itakana kuwa ni harambe. We all contribute from Vihiga to Busia to Kakamega to Bungoma to Trans Nzoia. And we are saying, once as lawyers, if we are able to achieve what I'm talking about and get what's rightful share ours without blackmail, without being told do this and that before I do this, I'm sure even the small communities like the El Molo and the Ogek will also get their rightful share. We don't want to get more than what is entitled to us, because that's also unfair. We just want to get what we are entitled to as the Luhya nation, as others also get theirs. We believe there's somebody who's getting our share. We believe there's somebody who say, they're not even serious, and then they go sharing this big position, so that we are left with somebody, bragging that I made somebody procurement officer at KEMSA. I made some very small things that don't really have no significance to the community.
They don't benefit the wider part of the population.
And then you assist somebody, but you don't let them work. They become your slaves. So that when you are going to a funeral, they all accompany you. You find even a CS of health, people are dying. The doctors are on strike, but she's fighting in a funeral in Trans Nzoia. Where are the priorities? Because your party leader is there, therefore you all troop. Because you must show your loyalty. Vile Mzee Moi alikuwa anafanya is what's happening in Western. That is the another want to change, that you can assist me become a PS, but please let me work. Because the moment you become a PS or a CS, you are now serving the nation, the Republic of Kenya. It's not even about you as an individual from Bungoma or from Trans Nzoia. It's about the Republic of Kenya. We've got serious national issues affecting the country. Let me have the time to handle these problems. But I can't have divided attention. Naenda nyumbani, where are you? Can you accompany me? Those kind of stories, how do you do?
So it's a bad politics that's been happening in Western Kenya for many years, like you've said. The kind of politics, like I heard you say in a clip yesterday, ni mazishi. So yote tu ni mazishi. That's where the only place you will see these leaders.
Yes.
So it's mazishi, attending funerals, hype, and talking big time, and having clarion calls that don't mean much, and yet there's no substance in what you see on the ground. And if anybody dares to oppose you, then in that funeral there's going to be fracas.
You'll be beaten up.
And the next place people are going to say, uliona vile nilimchalasa pale kwa masishi ya fulani. That is the kind of politics that you're saying.
And even now, like now they know that the Tower movement is really catching up on the ground. So one hour they're planning to do, they're printing T-shirts and caps with the Tower and sending boys wearing them to funerals. Just go there and cause fracas. And they say, those are Natembeya's boys.
Right.
If an idea is good, why don't you just impress it? Why don't you even make it better? That's what developed countries do. There was a time I went to meet James Mwangi. That is the equity guy. We were having some investors and we went to see him. And he brought his top-notch managers there. And after I introduced them, he told me that, Natembeya, when you call a meeting of your staff in a boardroom, you should be the most stupid person in that boardroom. And he was practicing it practically, and you can see why Equity Bank is. But for us in Western, people look, they sniff.
You're
around.
the god.
They sniff around to see who is upcoming, so that they can kill you, not to uplift you
before you rise.
Yes.
So how different?
So that they grow alone in the villages, in the villages there.
Governor, how different is your brand of politics then from what you've just described as this is the bad brand of politics? The Natembeya that we are seeing in public is playing almost the same kind of politics. You're attending funerals, you're standing up in the podium, you're saying, Ford Kenyatta. It's the same kind of clarion calls. When you attended a funeral where you knew definitely that your nemesis at present is going to be present, there's going to be clash, fracas will arise, it arose. You're not different.
I went there, for that funeral, I went there to send a message. Because the deceased was my staff. She was working in one of my health facilities. Actually, she died in a road accident while from work. The husband is related to the speaker. Actually, in our traditions, because culture was not supposed to attend that funeral. It's like attending the funeral of your daughter-in-law. You don't even shake hands with your daughter-in-law. You do not attend the burial. But we even did the fundraiser for that funeral. We gave our contribution, and as a county, we participated fully. But on the eve of the burial, I was called by the member of parliament. So for the Kenya guy and told me that, Governor, please don't attend because there's going to be trouble. There are people have been mobilized, a lot of tension. So I told him, but I'm the governor of Tanzania, and this is a staff member of mine. Why shouldn't I attend this burial? So on that morning, my team went there, and of course they found that the main dais where all the leaders were going to sit had been decorated, and the tent was for the Kenya colors. Why was I supposed to come and sit in that tent? Because now they had politicized the funeral. So they chose to put my seat in a different tent, and those guys refused again. They broke that chair. I was not even there, so they were already causing all this commotion before I arrived. So when I went there, there was a standoff because this boy had clearly come to play politics and intimidate. They want to kill what we are trying to do. So they intimidate you, and you become hopeless. And then we say there's no option. I cannot survive politically unless I join the queue. But I'm saying no. I didn't join politics for the sake of just politics. So let's see what is the worst that they can do. And they saw the people they were with me, and they used the police. Actually, it's the police who began firing tear gas canisters. You don't throw tear gas canisters in a crowded place where there are old women, old men, disabled, babies are there, people with different conditions. And actually, it's the police who fired canisters, and of course we left. But the message was sent. Personally, I don't do politics at funerals. We normally lose very many people, and there are normally so many barriers over the weekend. But I choose one. I'll go to one, I'll sit there, I'll go through the service, we bury, and I go home. These guys can attend even 5 funerals. They use helicopters, they're hopping from place to place. They come to this one, they land there, they disrupt. You reach, you go and ask the pastor, I want to speak, you are given your time, you speak, you leave, some people follow you. For 30 minutes, a total disruption. You go to another one, 5 of them. You don't even know the people. You just hear that it's a funeral, then you go. Because funerals already mobilized, you're not spending anything. So they're used to doing their politics at funerals. Actually, me, I've said, I do not do, if I want to do a meeting, like those rallies of Tawe, they're not funerals. So just meetings I've called, the people have come, and then we talk politics there. But we don't politic at funerals. I've refused. And even the people even who
Are they county government meetings?
Well, which ones?
The ones that you're attending, the ones that you're raising the Tawe movement.
Yeah, I call meetings in my county. I've not gone outside the county to have any rallies.
So are they county government organized meetings?
No, but governors meet people. I can organize a rally. Like today, if I say I want to have a rally in a particular place and I want to discuss issues, I'll call for a rally and I'll go. You just simply notify the police that you'll be in a particular place. You don't spend any money to call a rally. People just come to the rally and you talk.
You know the question I'm asking, Governor? Are you using county resources in these rallies?
No.
In these Tawe meetings?
No. Like many of these Tawe meetings, actually, we used them during like when we were giving Begu, because we used to give seed. So we'll do like extension services. We'll have team talk to them, and then I will come. And we are telling people why we are doing this. Why are we giving Begu 60 years after independence? This Begu should have been given in 1960s. By now, every farmer should be able to buy their own seed. But they're not buying seed. You don't give them seed, they'll use last year's harvest. Or they'll go to some back street and buy ordinary seed but imepakwa rangi. So why are we giving free seed 2 kgs 60 years after independence? We're telling the people are doing this because of these problems. Can we now reject this? Is what you're calling it. We don't spend anything other than maybe time. Count the time that but of course it's well spent because of course we're educating our people.
Some have said that as much as they can see and they can understand what you're saying, that they'd expect you to then lead by example. You know, don't even come out and tell us about Tawe, about these other guys who have failed. Show us the example of your success. And that will naturally gravitate us towards the area of success.
There are things I'm doing in the county as a governor. Of course, I don't want to blow my own trumpet. When you do things, let the people see for themselves. You go out explaining yourself, then it means I've had no impact on the people. Remember, I've been in government for just about 1.5 years. And I think that we are doing. Many of them, some of the projects that we started are complete. Some are in the process of being completed. We want to ensure that the resources that we have are being utilized within the counties to achieve the objects of devolution, as it were. Of course, previously money would come from Nairobi, then they end up at the county headquarters because we find the tenders are being done by other people. Money, they paid money, it's capital flight, and nothing is still happening on the ground. We are changing all that. Like now, I want to empower people so they can do almost all government tenders, so that we have money circulating in the local economy. But there are things that happen beyond Trans Nzoia that also affect us. You must have an eye on what's happening at the national leadership. You may want to empower your people, then the government is increasing taxes. We are talking about our people accessing education. The government is saying that basic education is free. We are doing capitation. We are paying 22,000 shillings per student in day school. But some local head teacher is putting another 10,000 that's not covered by the national government, calling it lunch. And then this child is losing 22,000 because they cannot raise 10,000. We keep quiet about these things because we are developing Trans Nzoia. Because what happens beyond Trans Nzoia also affects you. And that's what I'm saying. I'm going to be very conscious of what happens at the national level, even as we work day and night for Trans Nzoia. Because at the end of the day, we are just one country.
What do we expect? What do we hope to see? Because we can't, unfortunately, just because of the character of the politics and how it happens in this country, you cannot separate the two. You will always be linked politically, even if your agenda is to develop a people and its infrastructure, as the county boss, for example. But what do you think we will see? It would appear as though you're serious in this thing whereby you're saying, you know what, let's just get to work and get the work done. But what would it look like in the future from what you are saying?
We want to all of us.